So team, I've started the recording for the session, and today is more like an pre-orientation, not even an orientation session. I want to do a detailed orientation session tomorrow. The only primary reason is the invite has not gone out to all the members, and I'm sure all the new JPACT members would love to join live. But since we're here, team, we'll quickly discuss about a few things. I want your feedback also on the new website. I would love to interact with you about the program. We can do an interactive Q&A, and I want to keep activities to how you could succeed with this program. So let's talk about it. And so we're talking about JPACT, notes. Okay, so team, here are the few things that I wanted to speak about today. First, I need to speak very specifically about who are you, because all the points that we make has to be customized to your profile. The same solution may not be applicable for everyone, team. Each of us need to have a different focus and approach. Results or endpoints could be the same. So we all could be looking for similar career opportunities and so on. Depending on where we are, it can take us longer, shorter. Let's be clear on this. The whole concept about JPACT, and a lot of people don't get to utilize fully, team. It's a job placement and certified training. So it is just not going through a training. You want to be participating in training, project activities, any assignments that are given, that builds towards how you become a great recruit for the job market. We will talk a little bit about specifically on 2020 team. We all know the year started bad. We still have months of stabilization. So in the sense that we have seen markets collapsing, we have seen businesses going down, we've seen jobs really running down, team. And I consciously also had to take a good decision as to should I focus on training and really inspire and make sure that you all can succeed in this tougher market or not. And that's why I took a long gap. I wanted to make sure if we are putting in the effort, it goes to the right end. I do not want to be involved in an activity where we know that we may fail at the beginning itself. So primarily, the only thing I know is it is time for the best and chosen. So when I say best, this is a lot about your skill, team. There is no replacement to skill. Skill does not just include technical skills. We're also talking about communication skills. And when I say chosen, it is based on your location, your acceptance. There are good work from home possibilities. Of course, there's competition, and maybe you are in the right visa and so on. You got to be able to make sure that you have this in your mind, team. So how do we plan for it? If competition is going to be massive, but not all will be eligible to apply. So keep that in mind, team. Your visa holds a key place. So if you are in the US, for example, you have a green card or citizen, then you are in a much more preferred place than someone who has a temporary work visas. Additionally, also with all the boundaries, not all the work may be sent that easily to offshore, because functionally, I mean, the process of communication has to go well. So offshore options also reduce clients prefer. Which one would it be, team? On-site is when you're working at the client location, but anywhere else on the country, but not at the client location, we're talking onshore. Are you all with me? I'm having a very general conversation on a few things and trying to put some sense to whatever we do in the future. So every step that you take, let's make sure has a planned outcome for it. Now, what else are we looking at in 2020, team? So when this market, we've seen companies and jobs go down. So all you need to do is enhance your skill significantly. There is no other option. And for me, what that means are training programs have to be more goal driven. See, one of the things that I observe is a lot of members repeat these batches. And you can look at it from your end also, team, by looking at yourself. How many batches have we attended? Why are we still continuing to attend batches? Repeat is good, but has to quantify. If I say that I did, let us say, a Selenium training 4 times, or I'm an expert in Python programming, but I did it 1 time. So at the end of it, are you able to solidly stand in front of a technical interview? And your technical interviews usually are around the same expected areas. And correct me if I'm wrong, team. When you go into the market and you say that, okay, this is, and you attend the questions and you look at that 90% of the questions are very common. So most 90% of questions are common in nature because we're trying to analyze or decide between candidate A and candidate B based on certain criteria. I cannot give a totally different question paper to you and a totally different question paper to the other. It has to be something similar. So I have to have a common ground to be able to compare between you both. Are you all with me? Can I get a yes or a no message, please? Now let me quickly search for a document called skill gap analysis. This will give us master skill gap analysis. Let me see which one. Ting, 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 final. All right, so this looks good. Open with. 1 second, I'm just thinking, how do I put this? I'm going to download it and re-upload it. My drive. Should I JPACT? I want to upload it here, team. All right, I'm sorry, I'm back. So here's the document. Let me walk you through this, team. I'll open it with Google Sheet. I'll give you a copy to each one of you, so you don't have to worry. So this is something that every JPACT member must fill and maintain. This is a personal progress chart. So it's almost like what you see at a workout routine for fitness, or go yoga or go cycling. So you put up a routine to it. You know how you're progressing, how you're improving your skills or technique, even in the sports and so on. So that this document kind of is trying to address that, team. Did it open? It did. It's trying to load. Saying working. It's having an issue with it. I'll just open up the local copy. Take a quick deep look into this. I've also added this to our folder in Google Doc. Close, I don't need that. I'm already signed in. I don't know why it keeps signing me out. Enable editing, I have to. So it basically is a self-analysis team that you need to do based on how you would rate yourself on set of skills. Now, let us say this is your name. Okay, so for each of you, actually I need to make it enable editing. I just save as I'll do, that'll be easy. Enable saving. Okay, now it's changing. So this is your name. We've listed in total over 70, 80, 100 plus skills is what I remember. But at least 70 of these seem to be pretty popular, something that is consistently expected from a lot of us. And some of them could be pretty simple, some of them could be a little bit more complex, and some could be not relevant. But let's take a quick look and tell me if we are missing anything, please. We're talking about foundation level, SDLC, STLC, how things work in an agile way. Let's add this. This is agile, BDD, and ATDD, acceptance test driven development. How we do test cases, steps, scenarios, test plan, test strategies. I'm trying to make sure use cases. We are aware of all this, the Scrum, types of testing, application life management tools like ALM or Jira, requirement traceability metrics, your defect life cycle, what is shift left plus shift right these days. Both are important things. You can basically expect questions coming from any of these segments. These are any certified tester and developer. It's primarily a sum total of all that you learn. And that's another way to look at it, but it does not have to be relevant. Some may not be popular enough, team. So if you see, there'll be newer technologies that we've identified and just listed them down. Not everything may become very popular in the market. If it's something that we think you should learn, we'll put it here. Let's see. Selenium, automation basics, record and run. How we're doing a few things. Selenium WebDriver. I don't know if we spoke about Selenium Grid anywhere. If it's missing, it's good to add one. I think we'll change the order. Let's say Selenium WebDriver Grid. Let that be 2 different roles. This I'll call as 22.1 advanced selenium grade. So Cucumber. So there's a lot that you can see, team, different types of frameworks. And Maven, Jenkins, Git, GitHub, Docker, SQL, advanced Java collections API. Where is API testing by itself? Oh, it's here. Wow. So what does this sheet mean to you and what do you want to do? So primarily you're doing your own self-rating on each of the skills on a scale of 1 to 10, 0 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Let us say you're very good and comfortable in something like API testing with Postman. You put it as 7. But when we discuss with you, and that is where, team, you have to use the group mock interviews as well. Maybe our team lead is feeling that you are at maybe 6, or I may be feeling that you're at 7.5. So judging that gap and being aware of that gap is important. I am not saying that we can pick up every skill and take it from a 1 or 2 to 6 or a 7. We can make 2 or 3 point level jumps in every month, month and a half. So this will tell you yourself what you need to do. So it looks scary. There is a lot to learn, but if you focus on programs, then everything will fall into place. So definitely the one you need to attend some of the live trainings ongoing based on that and collection of videos. So let's look into it. So this has to be regularly maintained. At least review 3 times with KK over 2 months. As you make progress, you would want to review this. Initially, you'll say, okay, Karthik, I've filled in, this is what it is. I may not have too much chance to be able to challenge that. I don't know you pretty well. As we keep going to the progress, I see you making a lot of effort into live projects and practice, and how you're speaking out to the entire team will make me understand better your skills and say, you know what, you're doing well on this. Why don't you prepare? Now, for each of these, so we'll talk about this. We need to set goals and milestones, team. It all depends on how much time at your hand. How much time do you have, team? Let me run a quick poll and see. I hope there's a poll question for that. Polls, select poll. How many hours can you put in a week for the project? There we go. Can you all quickly take a couple of minutes and finish this? So if you're saying 40 hours per week, that is a full-time activity. You want to spend all your time on to learning, project work, resume preparation, and so on. That means that you're pretty serious and you want to be able to get there as soon as possible. Someone spending 5 hours a week basically means you're currently very busy with all the activities that you do and can spend an hour or a day on the trainings. So you can choose one of this as to how much effort you can spend. That basically tells you overall, not just yours, the team wise, how much they're planning to spend. All right, can I close this poll, everyone? %, of you have voted in, 79. Let me close and share the results. So team, very glad to see almost 45 plus 18, 60, major part of 60% want to spend 20 to 40 hours. So that's really good, encouraging. Then make sure you spend those 20 to 40 hours correctly. Okay. So if you have 20 hours a week, then spend 10 hours on training, skill gap, so you know improvement, and spend another 10 hours on projects and team presentations. Now, please note, live project is the place. This is what happens. You present and we listen. Only way to get comfortable handling interviews. There's no other way to get comfortable handling interviews. Let me close this poll. And here are the ones I wrote. Can you see my screen back? So 10 hours, 20 hours is what you have. Then let's say 5 to 10 hours you're spending on a training. If you say 5 hours, that's basically one training a week. So team, you need at least 20 to 40 hours. How many hours are there in a week in total? Can someone tell me? That's 24 star 7, 168 hours in a week. So let's say you leave those 12 hours that is not necessary. You still have 84 hours in a week, team. I don't know how many of you've done this, team, but I remember during my educational days or even project days, or for example, yesterday night I was up till 3 a.m. my time. There are times when you cannot accomplish your tasks because of other factors, and you will have to stretch, literally stretch. And the industry experts, people who stretch, if you are laid back, then it's a big problem. I don't want to hire anyone who's laid back in my team. And we only want some of the smartest people. So it's very simple. Smart self-starter. No laid back ever anymore. I'm not saying this will become the rule. I'm saying this will become more of the general expectations, that we want to be more controlled. We want to be more working towards the same goal. So if out of 10 people, if 2 or 3 are very hardly speaking, have lack of energy, or sometimes they don't show technical skills or prowess, you as a team will be pulled down. And hence, it is not good to have such members. So you decide yourself, team. So the members who said, I want to put 40, try and put 80 hours a week. The ones who said 20, try and put 40 hours a week. You cannot do it otherwise. Spend a lot of time with other team members on the project. So a lot of people will be in the similar zone. Allocate time, repeat if needed. Our program summary sessions, I'll talk about this. One more poll, team, because it is also about who you are. I want to make sure that we understand the profiles. Let's see. So this is an important one. This is multiple option, team, at your end. Where are you currently with your career plan? Let's say you're learning, preparing, or you're doing a project. Project work is either internal or external and so on. Resume and interview preparations, that is where you are, let us say, actively looking. Resume takes time, team, so you should keep doing it. And I'll guide you on that. There's a lot to do on the resume front. Can I get polls, everyone? Just 65%. You can choose more than one option, the one in front of you. And quickly, we can go back to the other topics here. Allocate time, repeat if needed. So this is what I've been talking about. Our program, how we want to do it. I'm going to close the polls, please, and quickly share this. Wow, 100% votes. That's nice to know. Thank you so much. All right. So 79% of you are in that learning mode team. 43% of you are doing project activities. 50% in the resume and interview preparation. 43% actively looking. 7% unable to spend enough time. So that is how the distribution is, team, of the members. So you need to look at how you want to divide, and this is statistics for everyone. And like I know, typically the funnel is bigger on the top, learning, then project work, resume is smaller, actively looking comes to be even smaller. Do not give up in the process, team. Go with the flow. And when I say present, when I say do an exercise, do it. If you don't do an exercise, I will have a very, very bad impression. It will not go well into those projects or assignments. Or when you admit to do it, team, it is a program. If you deviate once, can I get an exception today? There's going to be exception anytime. The whole point is we want to complete most of this in about 5 weeks, team. So if I complete a lot of this in 5 weeks, there's a lot that you need. So as of now, there are 3 programs that are going on. There'll be a JPACT. And in this program, we're going to do summary sessions, mock interviews, and coding challenges. Let me explain. So summary sessions are shorter review videos on key topics. Rather than spending an hour trying to explain something, we will have shorter review on key topics. It will also have quick interview refresher. So before you go to an interview, you can quickly watch these videos. I'll speak fast. We'll go through those topics fast and talk about it. That's just the summary sessions, team. It is taking a topic. For example, if we talked about what is log forging, to install, to write, and to play around will take us maybe a day, an hour and a half or two. But to show what is already there, and I need to hide this, right? I'm sorry. Then I need to be, doing it in a shorter one. So this will help you to make longer sessions shorter from our side. Now, mock interviews. Mock interviews, very simple thing. We were doing it the other time also. We did a little manual testing. We'll continue with Java and so on. We'll put a schedule for this now. Mock interviews, very simple team. You need to speak. If you don't speak here, where else will you speak? And I do realize sometimes I do come across as someone very strong voiced. It is not everyone feels comfortable to speak equally loudly back during these sessions. Let us lose that hat or expectation, because we cannot really spoon feed each other. We just have to work together on a goal. You need to speak. You need to show. You need to show up for these meetings. You need to present what you're doing to me. That is the only way I can take a look and make changes, make improvements in how we're going. This is the focus, team, that requires us to get very, very specific. Mock interviews will prepare you drastically for final interviews. Be it tech level or a personality level, soft skills level, we will have the same things. Now, just imagine, team, if I'm not comfortable of something, how will I need to prepare a lot? correct? So for example, this JPACT program, I've done so many batches, I'm a little comfortable. All I wanted to do was write down the notes of what I wanted to do today. And then everything else is the mind. I want to talk to you about it and present it. Okay. The reason I'm able to do it is because I've done thousands of hours of training. And I will not sweat too much before I enter into trainings unless it is a new topic. Then I'm more worried that what if my programs don't run and my students get confused. We all make mistakes. I don't feel too embarrassed if my programs don't work. It's just that you don't get confused through it. Now, the same thing should happen to you. The more you repeat and practice speaking, no one is going to give us an offer without a telephonic interview team or a video call. So you have to be extremely ready for that. Okay, so mock interviews will go topic by topic. So in this session, July JPACT, we have 25 hours, and I'll tell you how I'm going to split this. I will speak about code Java, little summaries, little coding challenges, and so on, maybe about 3 sessions. Then let us say Selenium, IDE, and WebDriver, about 25. So this is 3 hours, what I'm saying. IDE, WebDriver, about 2 hours. Then we will get into JUnit, SNG, then automation frameworks, and we'll do API, we'll do CI/CD, and each of them we will spend some time. No training. It is quick refresher sessions and mock interviews. So for example, I will prepare the list of questions. You need to come and show solutions. So we'll spend this week a little bit on code Javas, then we'll go to this. We've already done a little on manual and agile. We will add to that. And we can repeat. Okay. Okay. What else is there? New website, we'll talk about that. And team, please be ready with questions if you have any. Then what else did I want to speak about here? Okay. So there are 3 trainings, team, for now. There's this. There is live project on QA and there is live training. So you may want to attend all of these. Anyone who does not know what is SDET? And these are the things you would want to know before you walk out of IT learning. It's a role, it's a title where we're talking about software developers, software development engineer, but in the testing world. So maybe they worked on software development as application developers earlier and now are migrating to software. Let me come to questions in a quick second. Anyone having questions, let me know, please. I'm going to repeat this orientation session tomorrow, and from day after, we're going to go through each of these topics. Now, how will things share? So I'm going to go to the new website. Question, did you all get access to the new website? When most of you might be as free, premium, or JPACT member. If you have not got, please email learn@itlearn so we can provide you access. Now, team, I just want to quickly walk you through the way we built this and what is still pending, and I would want your real feedbacks on this, please. One of the most important challenges that we felt that we had to overcome were the way our courses were structured in our old website. Plenty of content, we kept adding and adding and adding, and we've already made 3 different versions of the web earlier. So the big thing were the list of all these online courses, and I take any of this, and I go into, let's say, for example, ISTQB. I go into the training section, then I see that here are the 5 different batches. Now, we started adding all this content slowly into the new platform. And let's see if there's any project. There's no project on this right away. I think there should be more practice tests that are there. Now, these videos, when you go in and start watching them individually as a course, yes, you're a member, you log in and do that. The UI will be much easier here. So if I go to, for example, all the courses, these are the 3 membership levels for everyone, and we wanted to stay there. We don't want to compete in the market with anything different or anyone different. We've been there for long. We just want to make sure that we consistently listen to you and put the right content and make sure learning is easy. So we're adding a lot more courses, team. It is still not to where we wanted it to be, but classified under JPACT, live projects, free, premium, live. I'm not going to spend time about the differences in this. If you scroll down, you also have access to the upcoming live sessions. So anything that you see live, that is something you can enroll. Now, this is the one that we currently are in. So I'm going to click on this, and you can go to that live page to register individually. And those are the ones. Now, but if I go to the all courses, and let's say I search for ISTQB, and I see there's a beginner level where you can start to preview the first videos without any access, but you need to be a member from day 4 to 30. Now, these are nicely organized. That gives us clarity on what you've watched, what you've completed, so you can track it at your end. And it is easier for you to navigate and make that learning happen. So sometimes under one, you will see many batches, and each one has its own set of videos. So member basically is going through an easier navigation. Apart from this, to each lecture, we plan to add a quiz, and any files that you need to download should also be starting to be available here. It'll take us another 2 to 3 weeks to make a complete migration. We've done that phase 1 of it, where we got the key courses into the new website. The domain for now is go.itlearn.com, and you should be able to log in and start accessing most of the content. So depending on the access that you have. Anytime you need to upgrade, we can easily do it at our end. Doesn't have to be a longer process like earlier. And that's how it works. You cannot use the old credentials. I have added your email address with a new default password. You can use that. So JPACT, whatever I'm doing, team, the videos for this session, I'll automatically start placing it here. So you can start watching, okay, what I did and so on. We don't have to, from a support perspective, things will improve. And the good part is the same should be easily available for you in more mobile friendly manner as well. So if I click on this, so all the courses that you see, if you pick up any of these as well, so you're basically able to access content easily. Okay, so that's the new platform. We took a lot of time to move there. We're really hoping for the best out of this. Just to make sure that users are able to get access to what we are doing in one place quickly. Right. So team, from my side, I'm set. When we start tomorrow, I'm going to repeat this. I'm going to go through this document again. There are a lot of members missing. And you have to be individually signed up for the other trainings, please, like I was mentioning. Where are they? Here. Live. So just make sure you sign them up. So if you need to attend any of these live projects or live trainings, definitely register for these, please. Okay. You didn't get an email, Vidya or Madhuri? This should be the default password for everyone. All right. I'll send out another email after this session. There's one question that I see. Want to know, are Kanban and XP still followed, practiced? Yeah, Kanban to a certain extent, with Kanban, Scrum, they all come under similar methodology or understanding of approach. Remember, I used to work on Six Sigma pretty actively. That was 15, 20 years, not 15 years. Okay, great. So that's it from my side. I don't see any other questions. I'm here to address your question. That'll be great. Now, you need to reach out for any specific questions, but I would prefer it coming in the audience. We all can look at it. Would you have a roadmap for a beginner? Sure. So good questions. If you're a beginner, what you need to do is you need to catch up on a few topics. So let's go to all courses. And if I'm planning, I'm assuming that you may want to go into the automation zone. So don't go anything with programming or anything right away. It can lead you to a little bit of going deep into a subject where we don't know where and how to apply. If you go to any of the Selenium trainings here, there are only two right now. I'm sorry, one second. Sorry. You can go through this as a playlist, like a Netflix series, without rewinding, pausing, or anything. Just take notes. Don't practice also. Get an overall idea what we're speaking about. And then repeat the same live along. That is one. Second, there are courses that are individually important. Courses like ISTQB could be one, where it talks about software testing fundamental concepts. You could look at QA, Jira, Bugzilla, and the software testing fundamentals, and ISTQB. I don't want you to look at anything beyond for now. There's a lot of content here. It can be a little more overwhelming at the moment. So let's do Selenium end to end as a series, one of the batches. Do manual testing with Jira, Bugzilla, and ISTQB. There's HP, ALM, and Quality Center. Do you see this? Even this is an important word to look into. All right. Vidya, I'm not sure which email it is. Send your email address once. I want to make sure it is there. Team, to the new website by end of this week, I think access will be completely provided for old members. There's literally about 12,000 of them that we have to push into. For the new members, they'll automatically be able to sign up on the website. So that's fine. If you have an issue, just write to learn@itlearn.com. We can quickly check as to which one it is. Whatever email address we were communicating with is primarily the one you would have sent it, so you can check on that. Any other questions, please? So this is a nice analysis sheet, team. You like it. Just for self-rating. If you don't have anything, you can put it as a 0. But what we expect you to know. Great. So I'll see you back tomorrow. I'm happy to repeat these because I need to do 2 orientations. Then we'll get into the session. And team, from tomorrow we have the live project starting, live training starting. So please register it. Do the basics at your end. Thank you so much. We'll see you back tomorrow, all of you. Bye now. Thank you.